Welcome to Center Heist Productions. It is April 17th, 2025. Please hit the likes and subscribe down below in your right hand corner. Muchly appreciate my subscribers and followers. Please share it with your friends and family as well as we try to maintain and grow a great Habs channel that is integral and focuses on reviews, and we will do more in the future of different things and information, but factual. We tend to avoid as much as possible anything that's just rumor land, and we kind of take pride in that. We wait till the facts fall. So thank you to you for supporting the channel, and if you could share it with your friends and family, that'd be great. If you come across the channel, don't leave without subscribing and hitting the likes. Muchly appreciate that. And please leave comments after the video. I'm just curious of your thoughts of how you saw the game we're reviewing. All right. I also want to promote. It's on the cover page. Aurora Contracting. If you have small projects, renovations to be done around building decks, small houses, or garages, or anything of that nature, they do great work. The owner, you can contact him, is Glenn George Thomas, and all of his email information and phone number is on there. Great individual, honest, hardworking owner and group. Great quality work. So if you could do that, that'd be great. And just use user code Andrew. Make sure to mention that. All right, now let's get to it. Go Habs, go. Wow. Can you believe it? I didn't put the jersey on, but I put it directly behind me. Like I say, I'm still in process. There's no pictures up yet in this new studio. We'll be working on it because we have more coming up that we're going to hang than what we had. Just to kind of give you an idea, one side will be Habs, one side will be Steelers, and one side, yeah, we'll do something else on. So anyway, let's get to it. We'll talk more. I'm pumped. I'm super pumped. I can't. Can you believe it that the Habs made the playoffs? I'm in shock. I'll be honest. I thought they shot themselves in the foot so many times over with certain games, and especially with that last one with Chicago. I thought this was it. I just thought the mountain was going to be a little too tall with us playing the Canes, and Columbus's schedule was so much easier at the end. Real easy teams, but the Habs took it within their hands and said, no, 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 we're not letting it slip away. This team's hard to figure. They're young, and I think that's, I guess, the big thing is why you can't figure them. They're either really on or they're really off. So anyway, but congratulations. What is my tongue tie? Congratulations to the Habs and Caden Gooley, who made up for his big boo boo against the Blackhawks when he woke them up with that big hit. Um, and he knew that was the turning point. So I think he had something to prove in this game, and he did prove it. He had 2 goals in this game. Way to go, Caden. That's what you like to see. All right, so 4-2 final for Montreal. We're in the playoffs. We will be playing the Caps. That's a big, tall task de- to deal with for a young club, but oh well, we're there. Thank God. Good experience for them. So first period was 1-1. Caden Gooley started scoring, and Carolina came right back. And you knew they wouldn't go away without a fight. Montreal gets 2, which broke open in the second, and we had a 3-1 lead, feeling comfortable. But you knew again, Carolina was not going to go away, and they get one towards the end of the third period, which closed it into a 1-goal game. And thank goodness, Jake Evans scored the empty netter to give us the assurance. So 4-2 was your final. Montembeault gets the win. That Crow tech off, that goaltender. I'm sure I'm butchering it. He's a half decent goaltender. He made some very timely, real good looking saves on behalf of the Canes. They got a future goaltender there, I think. Caden Gooley, definitely game winning goal. What can you say? Caden Gooley. Let's go to the info. Caden Gooley scored twice, and the Montreal Canadiens wrapped up the last Eastern Conference playoff spot with a 4-2 victory over the Carolina Hurricanes on Wednesday night in their regular season final. The Canadiens needed at least a point to eliminate the Columbus Blue Jackets from the playoffs contention. They will face Washington in the first round. Nick Suzuki broke a tie late in the second period with his 30th goal and also had an assist. Jake Evans had an empty netter goal, and Sam Montembeault made 27 respectable 27 saves. He had a good game, which finished 40, and Montreal finished 40 and 31, 11 and 40, 31, and 11, and reached the playoffs for the first time since 2021. I mean, this is great progress for a team that's in a rebuild. One of the better outlooks for teams that have done this. You look at a lot of the teams in this pile, and it's taken them around, at least around 8 years. So we're doing quite well. This is kind of a really big plus. First star, no doubt about it. Caden Gooley, 2 goals, and was even in the plus minus. He had something to prove, and I'm proud of him for making up because he did kind of wake up Chicago, which turned that game backwards on us. Slavkovsky had a solid game, 1 assist, +3. Very solid game. He was winning board battles. That's what you like to see. Nick Suzuki, of course, was solid, 1 goal, 1 assist, and comes through in the crunch when you need it. Always does, it seems. +4. So great on Nick. And he is, this is the guy I've knocked as their choice of captain, but he's becoming a good captain. He's growing with it, and I'm impressed. I like seeing the growth and the character this kid has. He's turning into something that he wasn't in the beginning, and that's good to see. So he's learned a lot. First period, let's go to it. 350. Caden Gooley scores with a beautiful pass from Slavkovsky and Nick Suzuki. And what more could you say? He wires it on the net. And then you get at 9:56, Taylor Hall, of course, responds, assisted by Walker and Cotton Kenyemi, who he was a little bit dangerous in the early going of this game. 16:22, Nick Suzuki. Actually, I'd say more in the middle of the game. Cotton Kenyemi was kind of a threat. In 16:22, Nick Suzuki gets the tiebreaker, assisted by Alexander Carrier. And at 18:48, Caden Gooley gets the 2-goal lead for us with a great shot from the point, assisted by Caulfield, and Hudson with a great screen by Slavkovsky. Beautiful. So that's what you want to see Slav doing, creating. If he's not in on the play, create that massive screen, use that big body. So he was hitting, and he was getting in the right place in front of the net. That's what you got to do if Slavkovsky's to be successful. And third period, 14:10, Tyson Yost, who was in quite a drought, scored finally, and it was a work goal, a scrappy goal, assisted by Nadeau, who was very solid, and Orloff. That was pretty solid. They were pretty solid, those three. And at 18:05, we get Jake Evans, who made no mistake and wires it into the empty net to take the pressure off, because the Canes were coming on, even though they had a lot of stars out of the lineup. They still gave us a hard time. And believe me, they're still just as good. There were some bring ups, but they were still solid. Shots were 29-21 in favor of the Canes. At least we were a little more, we were closer to our opposition in the shot department. That still has to improve. Hits 34-27. Yes, it was physical. And good solid game. Face-offs 36-22. We didn't even come close in that department to the Canes. Power plays 0 for 1 for the Canes and 0 for 3 for the Habs. This is becoming a concern. Yeah, they have just not been able to click enough of late, so they're going to have to work on that, especially going up against Caps. Penalty minutes 6-2 for the Canes. Giveaways 23-27 for Montreal. Takeaways 2-1 for Montreal. Block shots 20-14 for Montreal. What more could you say? This was a solid game. Um, Good game all the way around. Like I said, we do know the Canes rested several players, so this could have been definitely a different story. Either way, they still came out and played quite well, and made this a battle for us. We had to fight for this game all the way down to the bitter end, and Montreal showed up, and that was nice to see. And like I say, you seen it purpose with Caden Gooley, and good on him because yeah, he kind of made a bonehead play to wake up, with that hit when uh, the Blackhawks in the previous game didn't have the puck quite yet. The puck wasn't in play, and he made that big hit, which just woke up the Chicago Blackhawks. And yeah, it came back to bite us in the ass, but he made up for it this game. Good on Caden. Way to go, buddy. That's how you do things. You make up for things you've done that cost your team. That you have to be responsible, and Caden Gooley always has been. He's been a good young leader for the future. You can see this guy was the guy who I thought should have, in the future, be the captain. But however, it is what it is, and like I say, Nick is now becoming a really good captain. His growth has kicked in, and his leadership, he's showing it now, and that's what you want to see. He's kind of a silent captain, but however, he's starting to show maturity in his leadership and showing proof of his play on the ice. Action speaks louder than words. And what a game. This was a team effort, and they cleaned up things. By no stretch of the imagination was this a perfect game for Montreal. There's still some sloppiness. They had some problems in their own end, per usual, but they were a little more effective, and they were much more effective in the neutral zone, which was good to see. And they had a better forecheck, and they're going to have to keep that forecheck going. If they want to have any success, they got to clog up the neutral zone, especially against the Washington Capitals. And you got a big, tall task with Ovi and group, and that's a big physical Capitals team with Wilson, and there's several others on that team that can do it too. And it's going to be interesting because they're going to come out in the first game and send a message to Montreal with that size. They're going to utilize them. They're going to want to hurt somebody and take certain players out of the game or out of the series, like Lane Hudson, who I think Montreal's going to have to be very cautious how they approach this game. They're going to have a response. They're going to be relying on guys like Anderson. I think Jack, I will get into the series eventually to counter and shut down, Wilson and others. There's some. It's a big, tall task, but Anderson has to be there too. No doubt about it, as we know how tough Anderson is, and he's going to have to set the tone straight from our end. It's going to be. I mean, I look at this. Way to go, Montreal! Proud of this team, what they've accomplished this year. They're well ahead of where I projected them to be at 76 points. I can admit that I was shocked that this team could do it in at the point of where they are right now. Amazing. They proved me wrong. I can admit it. I'm a big man, big boy, so I can take that. You got to be able to admit when you are incorrect on something. I just didn't think they'd be to this point at this point in the rebuild, and they're moving faster. Good signs. There's a lot they got to address though. We definitely over the offseason need a second line center. We know it. Good move on the Habs coaching staff to take out Oliver Kapanen and put Heineman in. He made quite a difference. He was dangerous all night. His physicality made a difference. That's what the Habs are going to need. They're going to need the grittiness. I like Kapanen, but this team's not built to play him at the moment. Um, they don't have enough grit to put around him. And he doesn't play with grit. So you have to have guys around him with grit. And that's Heineman plays with grit. And boy, he rang a couple off the post. My word, he was dangerous. And I never did see why he pulled him out of the lineup anyway. I think there could have been other guys to pull out, to be quite honest, like Now, we've seen Armia have a great night last night, but I think, through the process where they went down that little bit of a skid, they could have given Armia a rest where you knew he wasn't as effective with his shot because he's got an injury. There's no end of some buts. He's got the heart. Trying, he does his defensive thing quite well, but you can definitely tell it's getting into the crashing and banging. He's not so much something's he's hurt somewhere. So I thought that would have been the better type of choice, or Pizzetta to keep those guys out, and they could have found a way around that and kept I think Heineman should have stayed in through the whole process, but they chose to give Kapanen a few shots, and I just think I do think Kapanen could be an effective player down the road, uh, but they definitely are going to need gritty guys on the line with him because he doesn't have an he's got to work on getting more physical. And I was hoping to see him come back after he went to Sweden a little more physical because that's what he had to work on in his game, and I don't see it. So if that's going to be the case, you are definitely going to have to insulate him. But go Habs, go! Great team effort. Great. I mean, these guys played for each other. There's no doubt about it. And what a moving experience moment that just brought tears to the eyes. Galley and that young lady Lucy at the end of the game exchanging jerseys. That was quite incredible, and that's the type of human spirit you want to see. That's Lucy. God bless you. That you're an incredible person. There's not enough of you, Lucy's, in this world. So when you see it, you got to commend. God bless you. You're incredible. And that was just a moving experience. And you could tell that was touching to Galley. Great moment for the Canadians there. So go Habs, go. A lot of good things to speak of. This, for me, I honestly think, yeah, this is a very extreme, tough challenge to be facing Washington top team, and they played like it. And let's just hope they burn themselves out with Ovi trying to chase the record. That's the only thing we can hope because this team is bigger. They're not the so if we're wishing for the same thing with the Halak here, we don't have a goaltender like that, and we Washington didn't have a big defense and a good, gritty, well balanced team then. They had a lot of scoring power, but their defense was questionable, was suspect. That's not the same Capitals we're facing. This team is really well balanced and big. My summations, I love my Habs, and hey, we're there. That was a big accomplishment. I do not foresee us winning that series, but I do foresee this being a great experience for this young crew. And way to go. And then you always got to put in the on the side, you never know because something that could just be, hockey is hockey. You get a couple of good breaks or a couple of good bounces and you can pull off a upset. So that's always there for any series. But in what my thoughts are is this is going to be a rough. Don't expect a whole lot. I just think Washington's got too much, and we have problems with them, and they're big and strong. We're going to have to, and that's one thing I find the Habs are going to have to size up as time goes. This team's got to get a little bigger because that Capitals team is huge. But way to go, Habs. Congratulations to the whole organization. Wonderful job on uh, the the ownership, the executive, and Hughes. What beautiful Hughes and Gordon. Beautiful job they've done. It's coming. There's been ups and downs with some of the moves we've made, but overall, that Carrier, I think that was our trade deadline trade, in my opinion, and what a huge victory that was because that did changed the seemed to change the tone of our season right away when it happened. So great move there. Great for not making the trades, and great on Nick for going to Hughes and saying, "Don't trade anyone at the trade deadline," and taking it on his shoulders. And he did come through. He carried that team. Look at the points he got in such short periods of time, and the way that team's record at that point changed totally at the Four Nations point. Quite an incredible turnaround. Um, so that shows great leadership, and this team is headed somewhere. But don't get concerned that Demidov didn't play as much. I don't think they wanted to put him in situations yet of a pressure cooker that could have cost them missing the playoffs. So I think that was the only thing, and I think it was a wise choice by the coaching staff. And this showed that the leaders needed to step up, and they did. So way to go, Montreal, and don't you worry, that kid, he's going to be phenomenal. He will, just nerves like anything else. Defensively, he'll have to focus on that a little more. Get used to it. It's all about adjusting. Not enough time. He hasn't had enough time in the NHL yet. So you kind of got to be cautious. And how this is all going to play out in the playoffs, I'm not sure. We will see. But I thought the coaching staff made the right decisions in, especially last night's game. Well coached and good on the Habs. So go Habs, go! Everybody celebrate. I mean, I'm still just blown away. And yeah, I'd rather just hang the jersey than put it on. It's much easier to do. And I think, yeah, sometimes I may throw it on, but I just chose to hang it in the background for the time being. And I'm so pumped. Go Montreal, go Habs. Excitement is beyond. This team has proven me wrong. I honestly thought they'd miss the playoffs. Big man, I can admit I was wrong, and they did much better in the point system than I thought they would. That's just totally impressive by a young squad like that. I can't say enough. And now, so they kept the faith and they earned it in their own hands instead of relying on other teams. And they had to. They had to come down to that. Much rather see it that way. Um, totally pumped. I mean, who would have thought that Montreal would have 91 points? That's a substantial difference compared to what I thought, 76. Way to go, Habs. This team's going to be something down there in years to come. If they're showing these signs now, wait till they get this thing all together, all the pieces in place and experience. So thank you for watching. You've seen it here at Center Heist Productions. Go Habs, go. They'll be playing on Monday in Washington. This is going to be, I fully expect to see Washington come out hammering our defense. So we're gonna have a counter for that. I'm not sure what what we can do for a counter, but anyway, our big guys, like I just said, Anderson, and I don't know if Jack Eye gets into the series a little later. They're gonna have to respond and set the tone that you can't run around and just hurt our guys. Take advantage. So thank you for watching. Seen it here at Center Heist, where the puck drops first. God bless you. Leave your comments. Keep it civil because we keep it a respectable channel here, an integral Habs channel. God bless. Till the next game, till the playoffs. Go Habs, go! Congratulations, Montreal Canadiens.